How do I follow that up? Thanks, Whitney. Good morning, sisters, brothers, and allies. To President Sean McGarvey, to NAB2's governing board and staff, Vicki O'Leary, my general president, Kevin Sexton, and my local business manager, Todd Gray, who's here today, thank you for your support. Your support has given me the chance to speak today, and on behalf of all the tradeswomen in the room, thanks for what you do to give all of us a seat at the table. To understand who I am is very simple. I'm a tradeswoman, a 25-year journeyman, cement mason, road building, concrete finisher. I'm not the best, but I'm very good, and I definitely stand out. I stand out not because of my non-traditional status, but because my skills are the best in my scope. Of all the things I've accomplished, that means the most to me. I'm also an athlete. I rode the bench on a volleyball team that won the high school state championship 2 times. But I played backup to one of the best top setters in the country. Backup means all the work, all the blood, all the sweat, all the tears, and none of the glory. Does that sound familiar? That's the life of a tradeswoman, and I love it. It's not about the glory, never. It's about the team and the crew. It's about everyone being the best at what they do, showing up with grit and bringing their best every single day. When my competitive volleyball career ended, I felt like a piece of me died. But as a cement mason, I found my true self again. I was a college dropout, taking a year off when I joined the Cement Masons Apprenticeship, and the rest is history. After that, I just kept saying yes. Shortly after I completed my apprenticeship, one of my business agents that was also one of my JATC instructors approached me on the job and said, "We need diversity on the apprenticeship fund. You'd be perfect." He thought that was some type of compliment, I'm sure, and I would have preferred him to leave the part out about needing diversity and just said, "You'd be perfect." But nevertheless, I said yes, and just by saying yes, I learned about the fund. I learned about what it meant to be a trustee. I learned a lot more about what it means to be a union member. I had no idea what I was saying yes to, but that one little yes led me down a path that I never knew existed. After 5 years as a trustee on the training fund, I said yes again. This time it was to accept the position of apprenticeship and training coordinator for my local. I had experience as a snowboarding instructor, a swimming instructor, a Pilates instructor before, so the concepts of educating were not unfamiliar to me. But at 30 years old, and considering I was younger than many of the apprentices in our trade and most of the membership, that was a big challenge, and I had no idea what I was in for, but again, I said yes. Looking back, it has kind of become my MO, say yes and figure it out later. Again, I'm sure many of you can relate. My next yes was to accept the nomination and eventually be elected to the position of business agent and recording secretary for my local. Followed by a yes to serve as the Steel Edge Women Committee Chair, another yes to address the entire OPC delegation at our 52nd International Convention, and sisters, a few years later, to participating on the NAB2 Tradeswomen Committee as a rep for my trade. And that's finally why I'm here before you all today. To give you a little perspective, this is the biggest group I've ever addressed, so that means this is probably the biggest day of my life, and it's terrifying. But also exciting. I knew from the moment that I was asked that I had to say yes and figure it out after, because it proves that anyone can do this. If someone would have told me years ago that I'd be speaking in front of the biggest group of tradeswomen to ever come together in the world, I would have told them that they were crazy. I am pretty quiet, shy. I'm not someone that enjoys bright lights in my face and 8,000 ears listening to me and 8,000 eyes staring at me all at once, but here we are. Although this is very hard, it's easier than what all of you do every single day. It's easier than chasing a slab that's getting away from you when you run into a hot load or when you get a bunch of ready-mix trucks stacked up. It's easier than scrubbing out tire tracks when a car drives down a slab, sinking deeper and deeper into the concrete the closer it gets to the pour. It's easier than fixing a load of curb that came out of the machine all messed up, and it's easier than working the 12th or 13th or 14th hour of the day in the dead of summer. It's much easier than negotiating a contract. It's easier than your first day on a new crew where you feel like no one's excited to see you because you're a girl and they assume you're going to suck. It's a lot easier than giving birth and carrying a baby. What I want you all to understand is no matter what you do and no matter what trade you're a part of, what you do is harder. So that means that you too might someday be asked to stand up on a stage like this and tell thousands of people what I'm telling you now, that you can do it. My role on the Tradeswomen Committee is one of the biggest honors of my life. We're the group that's tasked with and trusted to represent you and your trades, and I know I can speak for the entire committee when I say that we all take that honor and that responsibility very seriously. The Tradeswomen Committee plans this conference that's grown and will continue to become bigger and better every year. We're involved with progressive initiatives designed to advance the industry by working with legislators, executives, and big shots from the industry. Sometimes that even includes President Biden. I can proudly report that in every decision that NAB2 makes, we have your back. We consider you the reason and the motivation to advise this industry that we love. We are committed to positive change. We can do that effectively because we are all just like you. We come from the same place, the same tools, and the women up here, just like me, kept saying yes. Some of us bring alternative critical skills while sharing the passion for diversity, equity, inclusion, and access in this non-traditional industry. We all hold you in the highest regard and make every decision and work through every challenge by relating ourselves to you. Sisters, the future leadership of the building trades is in this room right now. I can remember back to the conference in Minnesota in 2019 when UA General President McManus spoke to the group. Something that he said that day struck me, and it's worth building on. He asked us, does anybody doubt that there's a future general president in this audience right now? Wow, I was moved, and not necessarily because I think it would be me, but more so because I know whoever she is, she's my friend and my sister. Whoever she is, I'm so happy for her and happy to know her, and I'm proud of her. And just coming off of Thanksgiving, I can say that I'm so thankful that we are all a part of this movement together at a time when the answer to the question that GP McManus asked us is yes. It is a fact that the next Tradeswomen Committee is in this room, and they're among us. And I can't wait to see what you do when you say yes, and I hope that when you get that chance, you can trust in yourself and know that you are meant to be here. No matter where you come from, no matter what brought you here, know that your sisters and this committee are here for you and they're cheering you on. This committee cannot wait to build on the energy with all of you in New Orleans and in 2024, and we will see you there.